Okay, good evening again. My name is Janet Pichardo. I'm the Director of Family and Community Engagement. We want to welcome you to the Parent Academy. This is our second workshop. We have several workshops during the spring. We will be hosting various workshops between March, April, and May. Thank you for joining us. Hola, mi nombre es Janet Pichardo. Soy la directora de Asuntos Familiares. Gracias por asistir a nuestra Academia para Padres. Esta noche es la el segundo tema de la Academia. Los talleres se brindarán durante el mes de marzo, abril y también el mes de mayo. Again, we want to thank you for joining us. Today's topic is self-care during COVID, part 1. And our guest speaker today is Cleo Francis O'Connor. And so we will have her start her presentation in a few minutes. But before we get started, I'm going to present some norms so that we know how our meeting will flow this evening. De nuevo, le quería dejar saber que esta noche, muchas gracias por asistir con nosotros a esta Academia para Padres. El tema de hoy es autocuidado durante COVID, parte 1. Y la señora Cleora Francis O'Connor es la que va a presentar. We also have our interpreter, Delia Rodriguez Masjuan, who is also here. También tenemos la intérprete que también nos va a ayudar, que es la señora Delia Rodriguez Masjuan. So in front of you, we have some norms, and I'm going to read through them. I also have them in Spanish. Para las personas que también están mirando la pantalla ahora, van a ver algunas normas de nuestra sesión. Lo pueden ver que están en inglés y en español, y yo la voy a leer. En un ratito, nuestra intérprete va a ayudarme con la interpretación durante esta presentación. The presentation will be a webinar format. You will not be able to see each other, only the panelists, interpreter, and facilitator. And so for the most part, we know that many of our families are joining Zooms, with their schools. And so in this case, this is a webinar. And so there'll be some features that you'll have access to. The presenter will try to answer as many questions as possible, but please use the Q&A icon or the raised hand reaction feature at the very bottom of your screen if you prefer to ask your question live. We will call your name as stated on your video and unmute you. Please state your name and then followed by your question. We are working with an interpreter for this session, so thank you in advance for your patience with possible slight delays in some of the content delivery. We want to make sure that all attendees are receiving the information. Microphones of all attendees will be muted unless the attendee raises their hand to ask their question live. Also, complete the feedback form to be entered into a drawing for giveaway prizes. That will be at the very end of our session, so please make sure to stay till the end. Again, this session is scheduled for 6 to 7. And this is the website. Just making sure that you'll have access to our website to access more details about future workshops. At the very bottom, again, just to let our families know who speak Spanish, la presentación será un formato de seminario web. No podrán verse solo los panelistas, el intérprete y el facilitador, que en este caso soy yo. El presentador tratará de responder al mayor número posible de preguntas. Por favor, utilice el icono de preguntas y respuestas o la función de elevar su mano del botón reacción si prefiere hacer su pregunta en vivo. Esto está ubicado abajo en su pantalla. Lo puede mirar abajo donde está la manita donde puede seleccionar la reacción de elevar las manos. También las letras Q y A. Eso es donde usted puede escribir lo que es una pregunta. La pregunta que usted desee hacer la puede escribir y nosotros entonces se la podamos leer. Estamos trabajando con un intérprete para esta sesión. Entonces, gracias de antemano por su paciencia con posibles retrasos leves en algunos de los contenidos de entrega. Queremos asegurarnos de que todos los asistentes reciban la información. Para acceder al intérprete, en un ratito le vamos a mostrar cómo hacerlo. Los micrófonos de todos los asistentes se silenciarán a menos que los asistentes levanten la mano para hacer su pregunta en vivo. Responder a un formulario de opinión y tendrán la oportunidad para ganar premios. Al final de la sesión vamos a hacer esta oportunidad para que los padres puedan de nuevo responder a un formulario y tendrán esta oportunidad de ganar unos premios. Y al final pueden mirar el sitio web donde pueden buscar más temas futuros que tenemos para la academia. Y entonces miran, aquí tenemos características útiles de Zoom. Here we have some helpful Zoom features just to make sure you all know how to navigate during the webinar. So again, to access interpretation, you will see the globe at the very bottom and you will go ahead and click on the interpretation and choose your language. Para las personas que quieren esta información traducida a español, mira el globo hacia abajo, hay una muestra en la pantalla. Presione en ese icono, interpretación. Cuando lo presiona, va a ser un menú donde le va a mencionar el idioma español. Presione a ese botón y ya de una vez va a poder escuchar la intérprete. If you are joining the meeting from a phone or a tablet, you may have to select More to access the language interpretation function. Si está usando el celular o tableta, tal vez tiene que seleccionar estas palabras More, estas letras More, para seleccionar el botón y acceder a la interpretación. De nuevo, si tiene que hacer eso, presione, va a ver la opción del idioma español. Write your question Q&A. The panelists will, in this case, our presenter will respond live or a response will be provided in the Q&A box. Escriba su pregunta en las preguntas y respuestas y la presentadora responderá en vivo o se proporcionará una respuesta en su casilla de preguntas y respuestas. Y una cosa más, vamos a ver algo más. Y a lo último ya está la manito, que es elevar la mano. Puede presionar ahí y entonces puede hacer su pregunta en su idioma, sea en inglés o en español. And so again, if you would like to ask your question out loud, please select the raise hand button. And you can go ahead and we will call your name and unmute you and you can ask your question live. The chat feature will not be available and we ask that you please use the Q&A or raise your hand feature. La función de chat no estará disponible y le pedimos que utilice la función de preguntas y respuestas o levantar su mano. We will try our best to answer all your questions. Trataremos de contestar todas sus preguntas. Muchas gracias. Okay, Ms. O'Connor, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And now you can go right ahead.
Great, thank you, Janet. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. I'm hoping that the information that I have for you will be helpful to help you navigate this COVID environment that we find ourselves in. Whoops. Okay, so.
Cleo, we have about 75 people right now, just so that you know.
We have how many?
75. So we're excited to have so many folks joining us this evening.
Well then.
Que están con nosotros. Tenemos 76 personas con nosotros esta noche. Muchas gracias. Esperamos que puedan encontrar esta información útil. Okay, Ms. O'Connor.
Okay, I'm trying to share my screen, but something happened here.
We can see it.
Oh, you can?
Yes, we can.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so let me put it on slideshow. There we go. So, as Janet had said, this is self-care during COVID times. And hopefully we'll have some tools to allow you to help deal with the stress that we're all finding ourselves under.
Excuse me,
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. This is Janae, the host. Janet, we had a bit of an issue with the interpretation channel. Delia's mic was muted. So I'm assuming maybe some people didn't hear her translate and we had to unmute her. And we have a couple hands raised. So if you want to go through those instructions one more time, I think that may be helpful.
Ok. Para las personas que están en nuestra reunión de esta tarde, la señora Delia Rodríguez Mazjuán, ella nos va a ayudar esta noche o esta tarde para interpretación. La presentación va a ser completamente en inglés, pero ella le va a traducir. Para acceder la interpretación de parte de Delia, tienen que presionar hacia abajo donde está la pantalla. Dice interpretation, interpretación. Presionen a ese icono que parece un globo. Cuando lo presionen, va a salir un menú y va a salir el idioma español. Presione español y de una vez Delia va a estar traduciendo. Si alguien tiene alguna pregunta, por favor, si quieren poner en la cuya alguna pregunta escrita ahí, está bien. Jenny, did you want me to do we want to find out those that have raised their hand to find out what
I lowered their hands, so you can say if they have additional questions, just raise them again.
Okay. Si algunos de ustedes tienen alguna pregunta, por favor, pueden de nuevo presionar la manita. La manita ya quiere decir que están elevando su mano porque tiene alguna pregunta. Okay. You can continue, Cleo.
Okay, so I'm going to start again with the first screen. There we go. And can you see the slideshow?
We can.
Great. Now if I can just get there we go. So again, this is entitled Self-Care During COVID Times. And I'm hoping that when we finish with this, you'll have some tools that will help you deal with the stress that we all find ourselves under during these times. With the current COVID environment and the demands of everyday life, like, with work, children, the virtual lessons, sick family members, we're sometimes feeling stretched beyond our means. And not to mention the change in our normal routines of the past. It can be overwhelming. It may make us feel that there's no extra time. We might even feel that we're neglecting ourselves or just do not have that extra time for ourselves. Anyone feeling like that? Like you're stretched out beyond belief and it's hard to find a moment for yourself? But even though we're feeling like that, it's very important to make time for ourselves, even for little things that bring us happiness, joy, or even a sense of calm. Now, for all that we do and give of ourselves, we need to make sure that our supply of energy, love, and emotion is not always depleted. We can't pour from an empty cup. When we're working and helping children with virtual lessons and maybe taking care of a sick family member or trying to make ends meet with the bills, all of that tends to put some heavy weight on our shoulders. And we have to take some time just to sit, just to try to regroup ourselves so that we can move forward and that we have enough to give to our other family members. So in order to do that, we need to create self-care practices that strengthen and support us in our well-being, whether it's our physical well-being, our mental well-being, or emotionally. So let's look at some of the things that we can do to begin these practices. For our physical self-care, take time for movement. Don't just sit. If you're home helping the children with their lessons or taking care of someone who's ill, or just doing the day-to-day things that we have to do to keep our household running. Sometimes with no energy, we just push through. We might be sitting for a long time. We might be on the phone for a long time or on the computer for a long time, or depending upon what our jobs are, we could be standing for a long time or just focused on everything that we're trying to do in our jobs and not moving a whole lot like our body needs to move. But we can do that if we make some time for it. Now, being a member of a gym is great, but you do not need to be a member of a gym to move your body. And with physical self-care, it's just the little things that we're talking about. Excuse me, no major changes, just little things like stretching. You can stretch by standing and putting your arms up, as you see in some of the pictures. You can be in a chair and do stretching if you're not able to stand for a long period of time, or you might even have some back issues. So seated in a chair might work better for you. Or you can be sitting on the floor, on a towel, on the rug, on a mat, nothing that you need to go out and buy. You can do these things at home. Another thing that we can do is for physical movement, you can take a walk. You can walk around the block. You can walk up your street and down. You can take a walk in the park if you're near a park. You can even take the children to the playground, and as they're playing, just walk around the playground, because I know you want to keep your eyes on them, but this would be an opportunity for you also to get a little movement. Or you can even try an online beginner's yoga class on YouTube or another social platform. Now, we also need to talk about mental self-care. When we're stressed, and not even when we're not stressed, we need to take quiet moments when we can get them. Now, what does that mean? Taking a quiet moment might just be sitting at a table quietly and just breathing, or just letting our bodies take a couple of minutes, maybe 3 minutes, and just relax. It also means that we need to use our breath. One good way of relaxing or telling your body it's time to relax is by taking 3 breaths. Inhaling slowly to a count of 3, and then exhaling even slower to a count of 6. This will help calm your nerves. Take a moment and do this whenever you're feeling stressed. It is a scientific fact that breathing like that when you're stressed inhaling slowly and exhaling even slower, calms your central nervous system in your body. Now, another thing that we can do for our mental self-care is to develop a self-care routine. Now, it could be something that we do daily, in the morning or at night. It might be weekly on a specific day or days, but you need to carve out some time for yourself. And I do realize I have kids, granted they're grown now, but I have grandkids and great grandkids. And it's not easy to do this when children are trying to get your attention. And we have to give them attention, but we also have to give ourselves attention. And we need to carve out some time. Maybe it's when they're sitting at the table and eating. Maybe there's an educational video for them to watch that keeps them engaged. And you could take that time just to breathe and to take a few minutes to relax. Or another way you might try to carve out some time for yourself. Maybe you can get up 10 minutes or so earlier and have a few quiet moments just to sit. My mother used to try to do that when I was little. I distinctly remember hearing someone get up, but not knowing necessarily who it was until I smelled the coffee. And once I smelled the coffee, I knew it was my mother. And I would get up and I would spend time with her. Granted, I was probably taking away from her quiet time, but I would spend a little bit of quiet time with her. Our voices never raised. We were always very quiet and calm. And this is a good way to start out the day. Or even by taking some time and sitting. It could be on your couch. It could be at the kitchen table. And just take those moments. Close your eyes. Let your hands rest on your thighs or in your lap. And breathe. You'll be amazed at how just doing little things like that will make you feel better. Or maybe something that brings you joy is having a cup of coffee or tea. As an adult and as a mother, I would always get up earlier than my children, sometimes at the crack of dawn, just because I wanted to sit and enjoy my cup of tea or my cup of coffee and just gather myself. And with the weather now changing and it's going to be a little warmer, stepping outside and just listening and listening to the birds singing their songs or listening to the breeze moving through the trees. These are moments that you can use for yourself to take a little bit of time. Another way to start your day might be thinking about things that you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be a whole list. It can just be 3 things that you're grateful for. And when you think of them, gratitude brings joy into your heart. When you identify that you're being grateful for something, it makes your day flow a bit easier. Or you could take time for prayer or for reading something that is inspirational to you. But in all of this, be mindful of keeping your thoughts positive and not dwelling on anything negative. Now, during this COVID time, I don't know about you, but I am missing hugs terribly. I am a big hugger. When I see people that I know, I give them a hug. When I see my family and friends, I give them a hug. I want to squeeze them so that they know that I love them. But because we're trying to social distance, because we're masked up, because at this point, not all of us may have gotten our vaccines, we can't do that. So another way to feel the emotion of a hug is to reach out to a family member or a friend, someone that you love talking to, someone that you look forward to connecting with. Sometimes sharing our thoughts can help lighten our burden. But if the burden seems too heavy, you should seek help from a professional, maybe at a clinic or a social service agency. Maybe you can talk to someone at your child's school, or even if you attend a church. And don't forget to take time to laugh. Laughing is one of the best medicines for lifting your mood. Have you ever heard a baby laugh? And no matter what mood you're in, when that baby is laughing and chuckling and it's coming up from their stomach, what happens? Everyone around the child starts laughing and laughing as hard as that baby is laughing. And how do you feel after that? Pretty good, huh? And remember to have fun. Sometimes as adults, we forget that part. We forget to just go out and play with the kids and, chase after them. Let them chase us. Play with them. How many of us have forgotten how to play sometimes? Yep, sometimes I do myself. I don't know about you, but that is such a joyful sound that I love. And I just love to pieces. So again, have fun. Now let's think for a second. Think about something that causes you to laugh, or something that when you were a child, you would just start laughing so hard that afterwards your cheeks would hurt, your stomach would hurt. You'd be crying tears of joy because you were laughing so hard. Does anyone want to share any experience that comes to mind?
You can either write your question or your statement in the Q&A, or you can raise your hand and we will unmute you.
No,
Okay,
it's okay.
we have one person who wants to share, Jeffrey Gonzalez.
Jeffrey?
Oh, you're on mute,
I
honey.
can hear you.
Hi.
Hi.
I gotta say that since the school year started, this is like the most helpful meeting that I ever been. Especially with all this stress because I have been to a lot of stressful time with the school system, and it haven't been easy, especially with the virtual thing. Um, but yes, I do want to share that I do miss the moment of my kids being little, me chasing them and play with them. Now they older, it's just like I don't know what to do because they're men and they don't want to be in baby or nothing like that. So um, those times I do miss them. Like I try to pitch myself to, and it's true. The other things you say that laughing to me is like the best therapy for us because it's relaxing you up and lets a lot of things go. And thank you so much. This is the first time I enjoy you in this meeting. There's have been others. And I like it. I like your convoys, your patient, and how you explain every little detail. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad that I get to enjoy it. And I try to do every other times that like the time that you're gonna do, I'm gonna try to enjoy it too because as a parents, I don't know all the parents how they feel, what they're thinking, but we really need this. This is like one of the support as a parent, especially now, for all the stressful time that we're going through, that we need. Finally, something good is coming to it, or what we're looking for, because we need the support. That's something that I always be asking since this whole pandemic started and the virtual thing started. We need extra support to help us to how to deal with this. And thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for sharing. I would say find something, maybe a game that your kids like playing. It could be a board game. It could be soccer at a field. And, just make it like a family soccer afternoon. Or find something that they like to do and join in with them, and bring the joy and the happiness into that. Thank you again for sharing. So,
Hey, Cleo, Janae, did someone else raise their hand?
Yes, we have another person who would like to share.
wonderful.
And Cleo, I just want to remind you to remind folks that you have a part 2 of this, okay?
Oh,
May
that's
4th,
right.
Okay.
I will, definitely.
Okay, so Comfort, you can go ahead with your comment.
Does Comfort have to be unmuted?
They have to unmute their own mic.
Comfort, we can't hear you. Please make sure you unmute yourself, please.
Okay. All right, if you have a comment or question, oh, there it is.
Yep.
I'm just getting online, so I didn't hear everything. Do you hear me?
Yes.
I came on late.
So Janet, is this recorded where she could access the whole thing at a later time?
Comfort, if you missed most of the first half hour, we'll post this video. It is being recorded, but you stay on, and so then that way you can continue to learn until the end, and you can catch up from the recorded video.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Please don't leave, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else, or are we moving forward?
We don't have any other hands at this time.
Okay. So, as I said, think of those moments that brought you into like just hilarious laughter when you were a child. Spend a few moments with each memory and really feel what it was like to be in those experiences. You could have been running and playing. It could have been jumping rope. It could have been a number of things. Allow that feeling of pure joy just to wash over you and for you to feel it again in your heart. It lives in you. Fun lives in you. You just have to call it back up in order to experience it again. Now, these are just some statistics that, oops, hold tight. There we go. That was done, this survey was done, I think it was about 2016. And even then, they were looking at activities to help reduce stress among Americans, or I would just say among people with great deal of stress. And they found that spending time with family or friends was the number one. I know that I love to see if I haven't seen my family for a while, I love to actually be with them or talk with them and spend time with them and laugh and talk, because when you're with your family, there's really not a lot of judgment and it's just an abundance of love. The next thing that they found that gave people, the next thing that they found that was a tool to help people reduce their stress was by meditating or praying. And that could just be, as I said earlier, sitting quietly, just thinking positive thoughts, just clearing your mind and breathing, or actually saying prayers, reading passages in whatever your good book is, and spending time outdoors in nature. How many times have you stopped and been near a very large tree and actually looked at the tree and looked at its vastness, looked at its complexity, looked at its beauty, and thought about, wow, how long has that been here? That is standing maybe after 100 years. Looking at a flower, looking at plants. I mean, really, not just glancing at them and going, oh, there are plants over there, but really looking at them and admiring the work of nature, the work of God. Just really, really looking at it, taking that time. And eating healthfully. When you're putting food into your body that is good for you, your body reacts better. If you're putting in things that Too excess will cause you issues like too much sugar, too much salt, things that are not really healthy for you. Then you got to expect your body not to feel too great. And exercise. Again, bringing it back to movement, taking 5 minutes to just go outside and walk, maybe around the yard, maybe up and down the street. If there's a park nearby, maybe walking to the park. You know, you have to do what suits you, but bring that movement into your body. Your body will thank you for it. Now, I mentioned breathing, but let's actually take a few moments to breathe. So as long as you're not driving or operating any major machinery, sit up straight or stand up straight, depending upon if you're standing. Allow your hands to just rest gently in your lap. Try to keep a straight back. Keep your back straight so that you have room in your lungs to inhale fully. Close your eyes or lower your gaze. Exhale completely. And begin inhaling on my count of 3. Inhale. 1. Inhale. 2. Inhale. 3. Filling your lungs and your belly with the breath. Now we're going to begin exhaling to a count of 6. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, inhale to 3. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let your breath go back to normal. How are you feeling? Does it feel like a little bit of that stress might have just left your body just a little bit? This breathing like this actually brings a sense of calm to your body. It directly affects your central nervous system and calms you. That is a scientific fact. And how often when you're feeling or you see something stressful or you're in a stressful situation, you go, but instead of just inhale slowly, take that breath in and fill your body. Exhale that breath out, even slower than you're in. And there are movements that you can do. You saw some of the movements on the slides, some of the pictures that were with the slides. But there are movements that you can do that you need nothing for. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need a yoga mat. As long as you have a floor, you can put a towel down. You can be on the rug. You can put a blanket down. You can bring some movement to your body. So I'm going to move my chair and I'm going to stand up and just go through a couple of movements that you can do to stretch your body. So if you're in your home, you can be in your bedroom or your living room and just stand with your feet just about 6 inches apart. Inhale, bring your shoulders up. Exhale, roll them down. And let's stretch upward. Inhale your arms up. Reach, reach, reach. And exhale the arms down. Now you can also do this stretch and do a forward bend. So you can inhale your arms up, reach, 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 and then bend forward gently and slowly. And if your hands don't reach the floor, you can place them at the front of your legs on your shins or even on your thighs, depending upon if you have back issues. And you can just allow your body to move forward as you breathe. And as you exhale, you'll feel your body moving a little bit more forward. So at some point, you might find your fingertips almost reaching the floor if they don't already. And to inhale, you can inhale up slowly and exhale. Now you can also do there are 6 spinal movements that are very good for your body. Forward and back, side to side, and twisting side to side. So you can do a little bit of that just to warm your body up for the day. So again, you can inhale your arms up and let's go back just a little bit. And as you exhale, come forward. And inhale, come up. Just a little back bend. Exhale, go forward. And inhale, go back. And bring your arms back down. Now moving side to side, you can keep your hands by your side and just let them slide as you move. Now, because all of these are spinal movements, you want to take your time with them. You don't want to move fast when you're bending your spine. So you can inhale and exhale down to one side. Let that hand slide down your thigh. And then inhale up and do the same thing on the other side. Exhale. Let your head just go to the side gently. Inhale up and exhale. Again, inhale up and exhale down to the other side. And inhale up. Now for twisting, you can stand with your feet just about hip width apart. And you can lift your arms up and just exhale to one side. And inhale back to the front and exhale to the other side. Again, inhale back to the front and exhale to the other side. Inhale back to front and exhale to the other side. And then inhale back to center. Now you can also do this using a chair. So if for any reason you have difficulty standing for a while, you can actually just gently move to the side as you inhale and exhale and inhale back up. Or to do the twist, you can inhale and then twist and put your hands on the outside of the thigh, of the leg that you're twisting towards. And slowly inhale back to center. And then exhale to the other side. And inhale Inhale slowly back to center. And you can do arm stretches. Let's put both arms out. Bring the right wrist into the inside of that left elbow. Bring that left arm up to hold that wrist. Inhale. And as you exhale, allow your arms to move to the left. Feel a nice stretch in your upper arm, in your shoulder. Inhale back to center, and let's switch arms. Bringing the left wrist to the inside of that right elbow. Make that connection. Inhale. Exhale, let your arms move now to the right. And breathe. And on your next inhalation, bring everything back to center. And another good arm stretch would be to extend your arms. Interlace your fingers. Flip your palms and inhale your arms up. And just stretch. And breathe. And exhale the arms down. Release your hands. There's always some movement that you can bring to your body. You can be sitting, you can be laying down, even in your bed. In the morning when you wake up, bring your right knee or your left knee, bring one knee and bring it into your chest while you're laying down. And keep the other leg straight and breathe. And then switch legs. Bring the other knee into your chest and breathe. And then bring both knees into your chest. And breathe. And you're warming up your body. You're warming up your back, your hips, your knee joints, all of it. And there are always, there are free classes online. You can, if you Google them, you can probably find some free yoga videos, some free stretching videos. And finally, take care of your body. It's the only place that you have to live. Thank you, and be well.
Thank you so much, Cleo. I just want to give everyone a chance to ask a question or raise their hand. Or
Absolutely.
yes. So if you have a question, you can either write your question in the Q&A at the very bottom, or you can raise your hand and you can ask your question live. We'll unmute you.
I will stop the share.
Okay, we have a comment from one of our attendees from a little earlier.
It's me again. I always have some question to ask. So, this is, I know you say this is gonna keep happening like during the spring, right? And this is the first one. So this is gonna be about the same topic, or each time is gonna be differently?
Right, so this topic, there'll be a part 2. This is part 1. And part 2 is on May 4th. So after today, there will be, between now and May 4th, there will be other topics, different topics, yes.
Okay.
And at the end, I'm going to show a screen, and it'll have a list of all the topics that are coming now during the month of March, and also during the month of April.
All right.
The text that we sent, there was another link, and it has the flyer there, so you can actually open it and you'll see all the workshops that are coming up.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
But you like this one a lot, so just jot down May 4th, okay?
Yes, I do. Like I say earlier, you know, we need this, and thank you. And finally, the district's doing something good for the parents because they're not be playing good so far. So finally,
Well, we appreciate you joining us today, okay? But just
thank you.
workshops, we have really good workshops that are coming up too.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a couple more hands raised. Wendy, you can go ahead.
Unmute myself
There you go. We can hear you now.
now. Okay. Can I get a can I download the program today?
Program, I'm sorry. What do you mean?
The program that the slides that you was going through. Can I download it? Can I have it?
Yeah, so basically when you logged on today, you know how you had to enter your name and your email?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So we can send it to your email.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Okay, yes. And for those of you also, you should know that the this presentation has been recorded, and so it will be available on YouTube.
Oh, I seen that too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be available there as well.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us. Anyone else?
No worries. I can't wait for the next time.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Ronnie.
Sí, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas
Sí.
tardes.
Yo estuve viendo y oyendo todo lo que se está haciendo hoy
Sí.
y es muy interesante. Pero una de las, lo que a mí me motivó más para ver esto fue porque tenemos esta oportunidad de poder hablar y expresar lo que nosotros necesitamos decir.
Okay.
Las otras veces, yo he estado en Zoom varias veces en diferentes ocasiones, pero dejé de meterme porque no lo dejan hablar a uno. Uno solo está oye y oyendo y uno quisiera decir algo y lo tienen en mute automáticamente uno. Entonces es como perder uno el tiempo, porque uno solo está oyendo lo que están diciendo, pero lo que uno quisiera expresar no lo puede hacer. Y en este momento, pues sí se puede. Eso a mí sí me gusta.
Claro, muy bien.
¿Verdad? Y eso
Sí.
está muy, muy bueno, pues de la parte de ustedes están haciendo esto, porque si yo quiero decir algo, ustedes me están oyendo y me pueden responder. No como las otras veces que yo dejé de meterme Zoom muchas veces ya, por eso mismo, porque yo quisiera decir algo o respecto de mi hija en la escuela o de lo que está sucediendo y uno no puede, no se expresa, no puede ser uno solamente oír el host, ¿me entiende?
Ok. Y bueno, siga, señor.
Ajá. Sí, en esto que están haciendo, pues así sí me gusta a mí, ¿me entiende? Porque yo oigo y puedo hablar y decir lo que yo siento, como le estaba diciendo. Y sí me gustó lo que están hablando y como no sé, ¿cómo se llama ella? Cleora Francis.
Sí, Cleora, sí, ajá.
Está explicando, por ejemplo, cómo uno debe más o menos pasarla para no estar en estrés por todo lo que está sucediendo, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Y pues, como dice ella, caminar, ir al parque y hacer ejercicios, todo eso ayuda mucho. Y eso a mí me ha ayudado porque yo he salido con mis hijas, voy al parque, la llevo a que monten bicicleta, incluso hasta yo también ahí, y eso me ayuda demasiado a mí, y no le pongo mucha importancia de lo que está pasando.
Muy bien. Ujú.
Eso ayuda mucho y pues lo que están haciendo ustedes está muy bueno.
Qué bueno, me alegro que le gustó, señor. Y usted sabe, el formato que estamos haciendo con la academia es el formato web, es un webinar. Entonces así nosotros tenemos la opción de utilizar solamente el Q&A y también el raise hand.
Ajá, eso está bueno.
Y nosotros sabemos que hay personas que prefieren hacer su pregunta en voz alta en vez de escribir, y entonces tenemos la opción haciéndolo aquí. Pero Ronnie, déjenme traducirle a la señora Clio para que ella sepa de qué estamos hablando.
Está bien.
Fue su razón que alzó su mano. ¿Usted tenía una pregunta específica, Ronnie?
Pues, bueno, lo único que yo puedo decir de respecto a cómo uno puede cuidarse es respetar a los demás, porque si usted se da cuenta, muchos no respetan a otras personas no cuidándose, ¿verdad?
Ujú.
Pero mientras uno se pueda cuidar, ayuda mucho, pero deberíamos todos hacer lo mismo.
Ujú. Ok. Muchas gracias, Ronnie. No se nos vaya, ¿ok?
Ok, aquí estoy.
Gracias. Cleo, basically, Ronnie started sharing how he's happy the way in which we are delivering these workshops, because he has been on other Zooms, and the other Zooms do not offer the opportunity to be able to express yourself, to actually participate, pretty much talking at you. So he appreciates that this format allows them, attendees, to be able to express themselves either way, either in live or asking a question in writing. I did ask him, and the fact that we are listening, and so he appreciates that as well. He did say that he has practice and it does help him as well. A few things that you had recommended, like walking. He mentioned that he goes to the park. He has ridden his bike with his family, and that has definitely helped him in terms of relaxation, and it does help. And so he appreciates that information. And overall, he just feels that also respecting each other is also another way to just be able to appreciate and also kind of take in all the information that you have shared.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Janae,
Thank you, Bonnie.
So we do have a couple more comments. I'm going to start with Carlotta.
okay. Carlota, no la podamos escuchar. If you can unmute yourself, si puede prender su micrófono.
Okay. We'll come back to you. Just raise your hand.
Ok, ya llegué. Sorry,
Okay.
que tenía el teléfono de ladito y no podía encontrar el botón.
Okay.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es
Bueno.
Carlota Corsino y solo quería hablar para darle las gracias por la oportunidad de aprendizaje que nos han dado hoy.
Gracias a usted por asistir. She wants to thank us for this workshop.
Gracias, en serio.
Gracias.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna go on to Samuel.
Yes, I just have a question for, you said that this meeting was going to be available on YouTube. How do we get there, or how we find this on YouTube?
Okay, so Janae, is it Providence Schools?
Yes. So if you just so in the Q&A, I answered, if you just go to our YouTube channel, it's Providence Schools, and then you can type in Parent Academy Spring 2021, and the video should come up for today's date, which is March 22nd.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Alrighty, so now we're gonna go with Santa?
Diga, Santa.
Buenas tardes,
Buenas tardes.
mi nombre es Santa Aria y
Tardes.
quiero agradecerle por la oportunidad
She wants to-
porque para nosotros también ha sido muy difícil todo esto
that every-
y yo acabo
It's
de
been hard for
regresar de
them.
Santo Domingo y tengo 2 niños pequeños y me agarró todo entre el idioma, la pandemia, todo y me sentía muy estresante. En realidad yo y los niños pienso que necesitamos ayuda. Muchas gracias.
Okay, de nada. Gracias a usted.
Thank you.
So Cleo, she said, thank you so much for this workshop. She too does have 2 small children. It's been really hard. A lot of things have piled up, including COVID, language barrier.
Mhm.
And she and her family have been feeling very stressed. And so she appreciates the support.
My pleasure. Con mucho gusto.
Oh, okay, so we have just a couple more. Janet Perez.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
So I just heard the parent say, well, first, thank you. I've attended several other meetings in regards to self-care, and I agree. You have a really calm voice, Cleora, and I like your background. It's very calming. Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
when the color that you're wearing kind of gets me calm or in the zone. So I appreciate that. In addition, I heard one of the parents say that she needs support and her children need it as well. There are supports within the schools, so she can try to connect with a guidance counselor. I do work in some of the schools, and that's why I say I know that there are some resources in there, and I'm also a proud and school parent. So just reach out to the guidance counselors and hopefully they can connect her to other resources. But attending this workshop is a big step.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you very much. And Delia,
you.
it has translated all the information that you just shared. Thank you.
All right, so we have one last comment. We're gonna go with our friend from earlier. I don't want to call them Jeffrey because I'm sure that's not her name.
Immaculata. That's my name. Oh, Ima, you Google me, Ima. I just want to say that about what Mr. Ronnie was talking about, that it's true that this is big for us, that we be able to express ourselves. And it's true what he's saying, that me, myself, I have missed a lot of the meeting, which is probably important, but because it allow us to speak up, it takes a lot of credit off or whoever set up those type of meetings like that, because he's 100% right as a parent, because I like to attend to meeting, but if I don't have the right to express myself, why I'm going to waste my time to attend into a meeting when I cannot express myself? Like right here, this is like a free time. This is like a party time for us, because, you know, you give your session, we went through it, we're listening, and now you're giving us the opportunity to ask the questions. So we have, you know, that's like a kind of relief. Like we let go things when we express ourselves, you know what I mean? Type it is not the same that you're speaking, you know? And it's true what he's saying, and I'm sure that there's more parents that feel the same way that he does and then I do. And I know, especially in my community, there's a lot of Spanish parents that don't know how to express themselves and they don't know how to speak up. That's why there's no positive changes yet to the system. But it's true, like the system should do better than what they're doing right now, because before we'll be able to speak up, but now they're just cutting that off to us to all of us. And I don't think it's okay. And thank you for this, and thank you to give us opportunity to speak up and let us have to take some of that stuff out, because we need that. We need this, one-on-one with you guys and somebody to listen our expression. Typing, to me, typing is you write it down and it goes away. But when you're expressing yourself, it's a little bit of your stress that you letting go,
And I'll
And-
tell
and-
you, Immaculada, so thank you so much for sharing, your concern, and also, again, reflecting on what Ronnie had mentioned. I think it's important that all the parents that are on the call, we still have about 40 parents on the call. It's really important that if you are participating in the Zooms, for your schools, that, that you can also express this to your schools and just let the principal know that for the different meetings that are happening at the school, that if it's possible, just to also dedicate some time for some interaction. So that way, at least, it's all about planning, and sometimes we just want to make sure that we stay within the hour, because we know that, people have things to do. But I think that your feedback is too important for the schools to understand, what you're thinking on your end. And they might use the chat a lot, and they're asking you to to answer the chat, put your information in there, any concerns or questions. But I think, again, if you express this concern and these suggestions with your school, I'm sure they'll listen. Thank you again for your comments. So I wanted to just make sure, it is almost 7:15 right now. We want to make sure that that everyone knows that there is a Google form that you should find in the chat. Although the chat is not something that you can write into, but you can look at this form that is included there right now. And if you can just press it, it's actually a form that will also automatically allow you to enter a drawing for some giveaways that we will have in a few minutes. But we would like to hear your opinion and your feedback. Some of you have already shared your feedback about this workshop. And so we would like for you to, again, complete that form. It's like a survey. It's a short form, probably like 5 questions. So please make sure that before you leave this evening that you complete that form. We want to get better with the workshops and the topics that we are offering our families. And so we're very happy to hear that, that you really liked this one. And so again, we have several other workshops that are coming up during this month. I'll change my screen in a few minutes just to show you what are those topics. In the meantime, I want to say thank you to Cleora, just again for the information that she shared this evening, and also for saying yes to a part 2. And the part 2 again is in May. So she will be back with us in May. So right now, Cleo can actually, stay with us, or she has the choice to leave, because right now what we're going to do is do the drawing for the prizes that we have for our families. So Cleo, if you want to say a few last words before you go.
Okay, I thank you, Janet, so much for inviting me to do this. I know how important it is to give parents tools so that they can move through any difficult times, move through stress, and just find, ways to tweak what they're doing, or, better ways to do something. So thank you again. And I look forward to part 2 in May. And we'll talk some more about self-care and the types of things that we can do with our children and family members. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cleo. Have a good evening, okay?
Thank you, you too.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna share my screen just to. So these are the workshops that are coming up. I just want to make sure, for those of you that are still on the call, we have about 40 of you. Please don't leave yet. We want to make sure that you can complete the form. Natalie, are the responses working? Are they coming through? Yes, very good. So again, what you see in front of you is a list of the workshops that are coming up. On the left-hand side, they are in English, and on the right-hand side in Spanish. Just a reminder that the text that you received as a reminder for the workshops, we will always include the flyer in that text. So you will always have that attachment, so that way you can know what's coming up. And so I believe, again, as you are completing the form, that is allowing us to make sure that we are grabbing everyone's names to be able to enter into this drawing that we have for a few prizes. And so right now in front of you, you'll see the list of giveaways that we have available. Again, it says parents only, just in case we have some community members or students, you know, on the call with their parents. We are looking to make sure that our parents are the ones that are participating. And so the Google form, the link that you are completing the feedback that you're providing us, we are getting, you know, grabbing your name from that list. And then we are going to actually do the drawing right here where you can see it. So I am going to, I don't know that we're ready yet. We're going to wait for another few minutes. So again, these are the different prizes that we have available. For the first prize, we have family 4-pack of free admission tickets. And so this is tickets to the zoo. So again, and we are going to draw for 3 different times, right? The first prize, the third prize, and the fourth. They are 4 free packs of admission tickets to the zoo. And also the second prize will be a $10 Walmart gift card. Again, the 5th prize is $10 Walmart gift card. And the final one is Nice Slice. It's the pizza place right here, right on Westminster Street, $25 gift card. And what we'll do is that at the very end, we will, again, just have you, we will have your names, obviously, in your phone number, where we will coordinate with you. We'll call the winners. We'll call out the winners in a few minutes, but we will call you also after this evening to be able to coordinate when you can stop by and pick up your prize. Okay, so we have about 7 people that completed the Google form. The form is in the link. If you can't find it, please let me know. I want to make sure that we enter folks. If you look at the chat, okay, it is a questionnaire, which is / a survey. So you just fill out the link that we put on the chat, and automatically you will be entered into this drawing. So please make sure that you click on the link that's on the chat. Okay, we're going to resend it so that way you could see it at the very bottom. Okay, so you should see it now. We just have a few of you who have completed the Google form. Please look at the chat and press on the link. Jeanette, if you could tell us if you saw it. If you still do not have access to the link, please let us know.
Jenny, we have a couple of hands raised. Do you want to hear from the people? Okay.
Sure. While we wait for those to, yeah, we can take some questions while we wait for more folks to complete the questionnaire. Go right ahead.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna start with Comfort.
Okay.
Comfort, you can go ahead.
Go ahead, Comfort. We can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself, please.
Okay. We'll come back.
Okay.
Ronnie.
Okay.
Ronnie.
Sí, ¿me oye?
Dígame. Sí, lo puedo escuchar, dígame.
Ok, sí. Yo acaba de llenar ese survey.
Sí.
Sí se mira que lo llené o no.
Sí, lo tenemos. Gracias, Ronnie.
Ok, gracias entonces.
De nada.
Ok.
Ronnie just wanted to make sure that his questionnaire, his responses came through. Make sure Everyone that you press on submit, and that's how we will get your recorded responses. Please hit submit. I believe you might have to press submit once or twice to different screens.
Okay. Jonathan?
Janet, I was just gonna bring up that second screen of submit because it might be the reason why parents aren't populating that form. So you might have to click submit the first time, and then it brings you to a screen where it's gonna say a thank you message, and then on that screen you're gonna click submit as well underneath that message.
Okay, thank you so much for the reminder.
Thanks for joining us, Jonathan. Always good to see you.
Oh yeah, no problem.
The response is coming in, Natalie.
Okay.
Okay, they're coming in slowly. Anyone else had a raised hand?
I see Comfort, so I'm gonna
Okay.
unmute again. Comfort, if you have a question or comment.
Comfort, you have to unmute yourself. We can't hear you. Unmute yourself. We can't do it for you. You need to unmute.
Okay, maybe she doesn't. Oh, there she
Oh,
is.
yeah, she just unmuted. Comfort,
Trying to fill out the form.
we can't hardly hear you.
I think it may have been a mistake.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't see the link to sign up for the raffle. Again, the link should be in your chat. If you can press on your chat screen, you'll find the link there. If you can press on the link, again, it's in your chat box. Send it again so that it could be available right away. We really appreciate you taking the time to complete the form. It's really going to help us again, make sure that we can improve on our workshops. Also, we want to find out your opinion in terms of our presenters, so that way we can obviously invite them back. But again, we need to hear from you. So thank you so much for taking a few minutes to complete the forms. And also to have the chance to, to win one of these prizes. We worked hard to have, the different agencies and the stores to provide us with these incentives for you. We want to be able to make sure that this spring, this summer is fun for you. So especially with the zoo and obviously the gift cards.
It looks like we have a question from Carlotta.
Okay, okay.
Probably pronouncing that wrong, and I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Buenas, otra vez. No, solamente quiero saber si mi encuesta salió.
Sí, Carlota, sí lo recibimos.
Ok, gracias.
Okay, gracias. Folks are trying to confirm if we did get their responses. Again, as long as you submit twice, we will be receiving your responses on our end.
Oh my gosh.
What happened? You have more, Janae?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was sorry. We do have another comment. Looks like a phone number, starting with 894. You can go ahead with your comment or question.
Okay. If you, la persona con el teléfono 894, solamente son números en el video. Por favor, si puedes, no lo podamos escuchar. We can't hear you, so if you can unmute yourself. Okay, hello.
Hello, sí. Buenas
Díganos.
tardes.
Buenas
Oh,
tardes.
para mí ha sido de mucha importancia este taller que se ha realizado, porque nos has enseñado a cómo desarrollarnos tanto uno mismo como con nuestra familia.
Es cierto, es cierto.
Por eso es muy importante para nosotros. Muchas gracias.
Gracias a usted. Gracias por asistir. Y siga
Yo
por...
llené la encuesta y quisiera saber si le llegó ya.
Ok. Espera un momento. Is phone numbers 894 across? It's like 10 numbers. Usted presionó submit, el botón submit 2 veces cuando lo completó.
Sí.
Sí. No name. The name is phone numbers. Is a phone number in the video. 894-8865. 9827. For the name. ¿No? ¿Usted puede llenarlo otra vez?
Sí, puedo llenarlo.
Por favor, llénalo otra vez, por favor. Y recuérdate, tiene que llenar
Ok.
2 veces, ¿ok?
Ok.
Ok, gracias.
Ok.
All right, looks like we have a question from Canela.
Canela.
No, ¿me escuchan?
Sí, lo escuchamos.
Buenas tardes, ¿cómo está, Yane? Placer saludarte tanto a ti como a los demás.
Gracias, gracias, Canela. Gracias por asistir. Dígame, ¿qué te puedo ayudar?
También quería aportar, me gusta mucho, es como comparto la idea del señor que dio su opinión primeramente.
Sí.
Sobre qué es bueno, como cuando están exponiendo los puntos, uno poder expresar, pero lo importante es que tenemos la oportunidad en su debido momento. Como decía en la encuesta también, me gusta cuando nos toman en cuenta como comunidad, como padres, como madre, que siempre somos las que estamos más activas, y cuando también todas las ideas que nos pueden aportar o que nos aportaron para uno poder salir a camino entre tantas vicisitudes que estamos pasando hoy día. Me encantó. Desde que empezó hasta el final estoy aquí pendiente y haciendo mis anotaciones.
Qué bueno, me alegro tanto, me alegro mucho, Canela. Espero que sí, que como llenó la encuesta, nos va a ayudar a nosotros de nuevo seguir mejorando los talleres. Muchas gracias.
Excelente, te digo que cada tema tenía preguntas y cada vez que quería formular una pregunta me la respondían sin hacerla. Me encantó bastante. O sea que mi encuesta se recibió.
Qué bueno, gracias, gracias. Sí, Canela, ¿recibiste la Canela? Sí, sí la tenemos. Gracias.
Gracias, Yane, placer saludarte y tanto a ti como a los demás.
Gracias, gracias. Canela just shared with us that she obviously has been on the call from the beginning to the end. She very much appreciates this workshop, the information that was shared. Is also in agreement with Mr. Ronnie, who shared how important it is and how helpful it is to be able to express themselves as they are listening and learning through these workshops. So again, I'm appreciating the opportunity in this learning opportunity. Thank you. Gracias, Canela.
Siempre mi corazón. Gracias a ustedes.
Okay, so we are going to now do the drawing. And so I don't think that we have, yep, I think we're all set. Okay. Give me 1 minute, please. Sharing. Or Okay, so just watch your screen and we are going to do the drawing now. We put everybody's name in here. We're gonna let it go round and around at least 3 or 4 times. No, I think it's good. I think it's good. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna let it spin for a little while. Okay, so the first winner is Giselle for the family 4-pack free admission tickets to the zoo. And Giselle will call you and we'll let you know when to stop by to pick up your prize. Thank you so much for participating. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay, Angelo. Angelo wins the first $10 Walmart gift card. Thank you again for participating. The next prize is the family 4-pack free admission tickets, 4 tickets, free tickets to the zoo. Okay, Mikal Margarita. Okay, family 4-pack of free admission tickets to the zoo. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Again, another 4-pack free admission to Roger Williams Park Zoo. Adrian. Adrian Ware. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Okay, the next prize is the $10 Walmart gift card. Okay, Santa Marias, M. Arias. La tarjeta de Walmart de $10. Okay, this is the last prize. This is the Nice Slice. This is a pizza restaurant, pizza place, a gift card for $25 right on Westminster Street. And this is for the winner, Canela. Okay, so we will call you and let you know when to stop by and pick up your prize. For those of you, I'm gonna, this was the last prize, right? It was, right? So I'm gonna stop. All right, if you can stop sharing your screen. If you have any questions, you can always call our office. And our number is 456-0686. Again, 456-0686, but we will be calling you. So don't worry, we will make sure to give you a call tomorrow. Again, we just want to make sure that that you, again, be aware that we will be sending you another text come this for Wednesday. We have another workshop. So just making sure that you are aware that you will be getting another notification. So again, these are the workshops. So again, for Wednesday, which is the 24th, it's planning life after high school. So for the most part, if you have an elementary school student or middle school, you may not receive this notification, let's say a text, because the information is mostly for high school students. But if you are interested, you have access to this Zoom link and you're able to also join us. So again, the one for the 24th is for high school students. If you know any other families that have students in our high schools, please have them join us. again for this Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our Parent Academy this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Y gracias a Delia Maswan, Rodriguez Maswan. Thank you, Delia, for helping us with translation this evening.